It's Tuesday and it's time for another tip. We're taking it from inside the barn today. So today's tip, I figured with Christmas coming, some of you might be getting your first horse, and that this would be a really good time to go over what to do when you get your first horse and run some tips by you. To always check your tack. You want to make sure that your saddle, your halter, your bridle, and any leg protection that you may be using on your horse all fits appropriately. The last thing you want is to put on ill-fitting tack because this can cause issues later on down the road. It's going to be geared towards young horses. You got a horse, it's young, it's green. We've checked our tack, we're ready to ride. Now what? My biggest thing when I get on a green horse, or any horse for that matter, is I want to, one, make sure we have brakes. Two, make sure that if I pull that rein, we have a one rein stop. And three, I just want to make sure that I can bend your head left, right. I can bend you around in a circle. You're soft, you're responsive. Those are all the things I check for before I even ride off. Things that I always make sure when riding a green horse is that I keep their feet moving. Green horses and young horses get bored very quickly. So I go through all three gaits: walk, trot, canter, walk, jog, lope, whatever discipline you're riding. I make sure that we got brakes, we can turn, we can do all of the gaits, and that, well, we're ready for success in that aspect in my mind. Once we have all three gaits and brakes, I also want to make sure that I expose them to real life situations. So whether that be going through water, trail rides, cars, roads, exposure. Getting them out of the arena. The only way your horse and you as a rider are going to grow is by getting out of the arena. We're going to keep them mentally stimulated. We don't want to get them stuck. Green horses can get stuck very easily, and then we end up with problems such as rearing, bucking, not even wanting to go forward, lack of movement. So making sure that we can keep them stimulated and give them the exposure they need is going to be key when working with young horses, or any horse for that matter. I know you're excited to have your horse and you probably want to get in there guns a-blazing and do all of the things, but remember, consistency is key. So making sure that they have a set routine prior to even riding them, making sure that they're respectful, making sure that they understand you and you understand them. If we get in and we just like ride that horse hard and we're like, yeah, we're doing all of the things, the horse is probably going to get a little sour. They're going to not enjoy it so much. They're going to become resistant to wanting to work. So making sure you set that time to like bond with them prior to riding them is also like something I highly recommend. Those are my tips. When I get a green horse in, or when I have a rider or a student that gets a green horse, making sure the tack fits, making sure that we have the softness on the ground and in the saddle, making sure that we have respect, they respect us, boundaries, making sure that they're soft, that they lunge well, that they respect a lunge line, and then in the saddle, making sure that they are soft, they yield, they move off of pressure, and that they can do all three gaits. And then from there, have fun, enjoy your new horse, ask questions, and always ask for help if you need it. We'll see you next week for another tip.